Hey, hey, hey. What's up, y'all? So, it's Marty Star. Um, I just want to get on here to just chit chat a little bit. Everybody be talking about this, they be like, oh, yeah, I'm healing and everything, but they ain't saying really like how this shit is a little tough. They making it seem like, I mean, it is the best thing in the world for real, but I don't think people are really healing like they say they are because I guess maybe everybody's journey is a little bit different. Everybody's yeah healing thing is a little different or whatever like that. And I know I like to use the words that people familiar with healing, whether it's loving yourself, whether it's finding whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I find that my thing that I was lacking that I needed to work on because that's what I find what I'm doing. I don't know about this. I don't know if healing is the right word, but it's for me it's finding out who I really am and being that person. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us go through life based off of either our beliefs, off of how we was raised, what we were told to do, how we were trained, how we like. None of us have our own sense of identity or who we are. So I think one of the scariest things through this journey that I'm learning now, which took me forever, took 40 days and 40 nights. Because I'm 44. I'm like, why is this just now happening now? Like, I needed to know this and do this then, but whatever. Me and the Lord go back and forth. I'm like, he's like, be patient, child. And that's another thing, like I'm learning that, like the importance of being patient because things are really happening when they need to happen. Like I'm noticing in my life, like if something I needed to have happen um Friday or Sunday, hasn't happened yet, you start to get anxiety. Like, is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? Like, I can't connect the dots or make the next move until I have this in line, and this is not here yet. And it's just like, be patient. You already put it out there. You put in the work. You signed the papers. You mailed the documents. You know what I'm saying? You got the fingerprints. Whatever you did, you took the steps and you did your part. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that I'm learning is like do your part. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do my part. I don't stress myself about how long it takes if I don't get it done today, but I always make sure I do something. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I do a little bit of something to get closer, whether it's even watching something um or studying for 5 minutes, whether it's even just thinking about it, just keeping it on my to-do list in my brain, but I need to start writing stuff down. So yeah, so it's just I'm finding in this whole chaotic world that is giving me time to pull back because I don't like a lot of chaos in my life. I don't like confusion. I don't like nothing like it. Like I'm a Cancer, so I will go in my shell like, I don't like it. I don't like it. So when you go into your shell, you're there by yourself. And what I started doing was I literally would start having times where like I don't have the TV on, I don't have nothing on, I sit in silence. And I ask myself certain questions, your higher self, God, whoever, because me and God talk all the time. Like our conversations now, I know he's so proud of me. Because some of us never sit and talk to God or talk to ourselves. We never tap in and just really, you know, be honest and straight up with ourselves. And that's another thing. Like I had to really started being honest with myself. Like I've been bullshitting myself for a while now. I've been accommodating people and things and whatever. And I'm like, I don't even know if I really like it like that. I don't even know if I really like you like that. Like I think I'm just here. You know what I mean? And that's not even fair to, people that that you come in contact with. You like, I think I'm just biding my time. You know what I mean? Because what are we really doing? So I had to sit down and say, okay, how do you feel today? Why do you feel that way? And I would have real conversations about it because we'll try to either drink it away, sex it away, you know what I'm saying, dress it up away, change our hair away, and all this other stuff. And it's like, it's not answering the question. You know what I'm saying? So I've been big on mathematics, not important. Well, I do a lot of studying and stuff like that. So, like, that's a whole nother, like, video. But if it ain't adding up, because the easiest way, I was like, well, how do I go through life? I was talking with God. I was like, well, how do I go through life knowing what to do? And God was like, you use your discernment and your intuition. Just that easy. Like it was like you got the greatest power in the world and you don't use it or you don't believe in it or you have people telling you that you're crazy or that you're bugging. Like so I mean it's on you. You know, because like God, my higher self is hilarious. Like the sarcasm, it seemed like it's sarcasm, but it's so real and authentic. Like it's so raw and authentic to the point where you think it's sarcasm, or you think God isn't listening, or you think whatever, whatever. But it's just be like if that's listen, if that's what you want to do, and you don't want to, he's like this you already have this. You know what I mean? So I'm like okay. Okay, I will start doing that. And that's what I will start doing. I don't question stuff no more. If I start feeling something in my chest or in my body, I trust myself enough to know. Basically, I just trust myself enough. You know what I'm saying? That we keep, well, and then we question ourselves. Well, is it because I have abandonment issues? Is it because I have daddy issues? Or maybe I'm bugging. This is that. No, put all that aside. Yeah, certain things is gonna make you be something. You know, act a certain type of way. But at the end of the day, when it comes to real life situations, I pay attention and I listen. Well, I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely learning because you get tired of bumping your head. You get tired of getting burned. Like no one's gonna keep running in and out of like a burning building. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't make sense. You would look at somebody like, "Are you all right? You was in the building. You smelled the smoke. The fire alarms went off. You sat there, fell down, got severely burned, got healed from that, and you going back into the building." So these are the conversations that I have with myself because everybody always talk about, oh, the shadow self, this is that. I love my shadow self. Of course, I have to tame her because she will run amok. You know what I mean? And we wanna add on to the light in the world because it's dark. So it could be very dark because I'm very extreme. Either I'm like there's no gray area with me. But she, is my protector. She speaks up for me. She keeps it real with me, and she don't play about nothing. Like she not on no sucker shit. You can't like. She's very very masculine. Like the masculine side of me, because a lot of guys are like, oh, you always with the guy. Like I'll be the only female, and in most cases, and it'll at least be 5 to 8, 10 guys standing around, and we just all chopping it up. You know what I mean? So, um, she comes in and she's like very, real with me about stuff. And I started listening to that. Like, okay, no, you're not bugging. No, this is what's going on. No, it's time for us to get up and go. Our time is up. Let's grab our coat and let's head home. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go. So, I started moving like that, and you be concerned about like how people think about you or perceive you, or they sometimes people may feel offended, or they feel like that I do something. It's like, no, I just whatever the case is, I'm not vibing with it. You know what I mean? I don't know what's to come of it, but I like where I'm headed. I see where I'm going. And a lot of times like it's not for you to just be, always having to explain stuff to people or always feel like whatever, whatever. Because one of the things guys told me was like, you talk too much sometimes. You just be running your mouth, giving people the blueprint. You know what I mean? Like I'm the conversations that we're having, you know what I mean, is between us. It's not for you to take and then share it with somebody else. It's because you still don't even know where you're going yet. You still don't understand everything. You know what I mean? It's not to say that you can't open up and share things with people, but that in-depth relationship that you should have with yourself, that's when people be talking about, oh, you need to love yourself, whatever. No, you need to have like a real relationship with yourself. You need to know how to take yourself out. You need to know how to make yourself feel good, make yourself laugh, shit, make yourself come. So excuse me, disclaimer, but you know, um, you need to be able to do them things for yourself, especially that last one I said. I know I joke about it or whatever, but on some real stuff, like most of us be dependent on somebody for that, be going crazy. I used to lose my mind when I couldn't get it. I used to be pissed off, like, what you mean I can't? What? So it's just you have to be able to fulfill yourself and have a relationship with yourself in order to, I think, do this whole healing thing. Because people think it's because if you eat better, oh, I'm meditating, I'm doing yoga, I'm wearing crystals, or I'm burning candles, like all of that outside surface level stuff. And I won't say surface level, I don't want to knock it, because I do that as well. But when you really want to, like, I guess when you, like my mom said, everybody have their own set of fed upness. When you really get fed up with things and how they're going, you're gonna stop in your tracks and you're gonna regroup. You know what I mean? So first you have to stop in your track and you have to regroup. Like, just wait a minute. You have to literally block everything out. You got to sometimes cut off relationships. You got to, especially stuff, that's like the quickest thing. Like, you just start looking around and evaluating the people in your life. Start pulling away from certain things. You know what I mean? Regardless of what it is, just kind of like go into a little bit of a hermit mode just to get some time with yourself, because we have so many distractions. We never have time to really sit in silence because we always have to be stimulated. And that's another thing that bothers me. People that always have to be stimulated. And I'm like, I sometimes you start falling into that trap and you like, wait a minute. I never want to be so controlled and I have enough discipline to where, you know what I'm saying, where I'm constantly losing control or I'm constantly being a hindrance to somebody. Like, that's just my thing. Like, I don't know. Even like going through this whole thing, like just finding people that are like, um, I don't know, like noble or like honorable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like people almost like have lost their soul in a way. And it's a little like scary to me because like some of us who are like gifted and spiritual or whatever like that, like we see things like for real, for real. I know people, I know it's trending, everybody's a bruja, everybody's a witch, and everybody's this and everybody's that. Like, there are some of us who like, you know what I'm saying, it's it's a great gift, but we ain't boasting and bragging about it because the stuff that we are seeing is not something that we want to see. It ain't something that we're like, oh, that's a beautiful unicorn. You know what I'm saying? We seeing demonic spirits in people. We're seeing um just them just flying around. Like, we are seeing a lot of things, and it's just like, wait a minute, let me relax because I don't want to get swooped up into this whirlwind that's going on right now. Like, like I see it. I'm just like, this is some really good work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, not to give credit to the adversary, devil, or demons, bad spirits, whatever you want to say, but it's like they are doing a job and they are conquering and getting it off. And people are allowing them to consume their bodies and live and house there to be able to affect and hurt and burden righteous and good people. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you do separate yourself because a lot of people don't even know that they have these demons in them. They just, you know, are constantly justifying what's going on and how they are and things of that nature because they know that they're out of alignment. You know what I mean? And it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't for the weak. You know what I'm saying? When you really want to dig deep and sit with yourself and start, you know what I'm saying, cleaning house with yourself and keeping it 100 with yourself, a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't, and it's okay. And it is okay. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'll see you next lifetime. You know what I mean? Maybe you got to come back here and do it again. It is what it is. But yeah, I just I just been it's been crazy because this is the first time like I've been able to quiet my mind and speak my mind and move in that way. Because like I said, a lot of people just, they're just going with what they're used to doing, how they used to being. A lot of people are comfortable wearing their disguises. Like a lot of women cannot leave the house, or what I'm saying, you can't see them in the morning. They get up earlier before you because they have to put on their makeup. They got to look a certain kind of way, whatever. It's nothing wrong with getting up early and brushing your teeth and, like, looking a little decent. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that because I would do that. But when it's to the point where you're constantly having to dress up the outside, most people that are broken or like empty within really dress up the outside really, really well. Like, their life looks like it's going really well. They, looks like they got their shit together. You know what I'm saying? They dress well, they speak well, all of this stuff. So of course you're like, oh, this is you know what I mean? And then you start to see like emotions are missing. It's detachments. It's stuff that goes on, and you're sitting like, that ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying? It's not mathing. And people do things for whatever reason. It's constantly to feel like that emptiness. It's like, I'm trying not to use specific examples because I don't want, because people will take it like, oh, you're talking about me and my situation. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm trying to fix, so forgive me if I'm stalling, but I'm trying to kind of, because I like to paint pictures for people. But it's like, if you really don't, like, for instance, for me, there was a girls trip that everybody was planning to go to Miami. Of course, we was like, yeah, we're going to turn it because every time we get together, we have a great time. Me and my situation, I know that I have a plan. So my mind, even though I don't sit down and discuss every intricate detail of my life and what I'm doing in my future and what I need to do, people don't know. So my thing is I don't mind going out, hanging out or whatever like that and spending what I need to spend, but I'm not going to put myself in a situation to where, because it seemed like sometimes you always got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, yeah, the bill was $100 this month. Now I got a late fee because I want to go turn up in Miami. Now it's 150. Now, when it comes time for the due date for that time to come because I didn't pay when I should have, something else comes up. Now all of a sudden my car needs an oil change. Now I got to pay the 150 and now I got to pay another $60. So it's just like that's how my mind thinks. So instead of me spending, I already knew we would have been about $1,000 because you got thinking about the playing field, which was like $300-400. Then you got the Airbnb, everybody chipping. I think whatever. It's gonna be more than 1,000 because you're gonna want to go out. When I go out, you start drinking, you want to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? So I already know myself. You understand what I'm saying? So that's another benefit of sitting down and really getting to understand yourself. Like I know myself. I know where I'm strong and I know where I'm weak at. And people don't want to acknowledge the fact that they're weak in some places and that you need to work on that. So I train myself to be more disciplined so that I can make better decisions. So I don't have to keep digging myself out of the same hole. You know what I'm saying? People get comfortable being in a hole. They dress it up, they put up curtains and light candles and stuff like that. I don't. I can't breathe. I'm claustrophobic. You know what I'm saying? I need to get out. I need to explore. Since I was a kid, my mom, she would she would constantly have to make sure she watched me at the side of her eye because I would walk off. I want to explore. I want to see what's going on. You know what I mean? So, and a lot, like I said, a lot of people aren't there yet, and that's fine. So no, I didn't go to the trip, and I felt kind of bad because all of them were calling me like, "Listen, we'll pay for you, this and this and that." Like if it's a money thing, I said, "No, it's not. I can pay for it." You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had credit cards with big, balances on them and stuff like that. I'm just like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want it to come across as like, they weren't making wise decisions or something like that. I'm like, no, y'all do. Yeah, you work hard. You guys are moms. You do a great job. This little getaway, like, it's needed. But me, for right now, I need to stay focused and I need to make sure my foundation is good because it wasn't 100% stable. Like, yeah, I had backup plans, but that backup plan is just in case of emergencies, and I was too close to the just in case of the emergency, so it just didn't make sense to me. So, let it start mathing and stand on your ground. The old me would have just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just go, I'll figure it out, and then struggle. Then now I gotta do DoorDash, and now I gotta do this. Like, I don't, I'm getting too, I'm getting older now, and I don't have the same energy to burn on foolishness. Like my energy that I have now is telling me your energy is only for specific things, and if it's not towards that specific thing, all heck is going to break loose. Like I said, I don't like keep running back and forth and burning buildings. I'm good on that. So yeah, you know, it's this journey, um almost about to be 50 soon, and I'm super excited because the way that I'm going and how things are going with me mentally and even like physically, like I love where I'm going and where I'm headed. I'm like excited. And when I tell you, like, everything has been coming up against me this year, I don't know how, never would have made it. Like, I never, I mean, I never, but I'm so proud of myself. And I was excited about it a little bit because I was in the trenches. Like, I was out here in the trenches, like the rain, the sleet, the snow. I'm just pushing through. I had this drive in me, and I was like, "We gonna get here." And of course, you had a lot of distractions. You got life, and you got things going on. You got disappointment, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, "All right," I sat in it for a little while because like we stop trying to like push away, depression and anxiety and heartbreak and all that stuff. No, sit in it. Say, why are we here? Why are we feeling like this? And once you have, and once you have an idea of why, then you're like, okay, it happened. This is what's going on, and I can move on. And you just have to kind of learn to like really do that. and figure out like what was going on. Because a lot of it is the funny thing is you have to check yourself, and you got to sit there and you got to take responsibility for like what has happened. And the thing about it is a lot of people don't want to do that, because I know I'm like, gosh, because one thing, especially when you it wrong about something, you hate something when you wrong. I used to like feel funny about apologizing to my son about things, but I knew the importance of that because it helped me build my character and help him build the character as well, and know that I'm not perfect. But once you start, yeah, like being honest with yourself about stuff, like that's one of the hardest things. Like you have to be honest with yourself. Like nothing can go on in your life without you allowing it to happen. So then you're sitting there like, okay, well, what was going on in my life or in my mind where I allowed this to happen? And a lot of times you get to the core and the point of things, or just be like, hey, it was a lesson that needed to be learned. Now you'll pay attention, because now I pay attention. Like me, I never paid attention to anything. I remember my mom used to joke with me, and she used to say, somebody could sell you the George Washington Bridge and you'll buy it. And I would. And I would. I'm like, I used to be very gullible and just, whatever in a way. But now I pay attention to things because it's very, very important. It's very important to pay attention to things, pay attention to your discernment, pay attention to how your body feels around things. Like we just be brushing stuff off like, no, 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 no. Or we just be too under the, influence of things a lot of times. And it's like, nah, just sometime do it, a 2, 3 day detox just to tap in with yourself, just to kind of see where you at. Cause it ain't gonna be like an overnight thing. Like you're not gonna go from being, Jekyll and then you're gonna be Hyde the next day. Like it's you gotta kind of like they say, like rebirth, be like really born again. So and you can start over anytime and any day. Like some people feel like, well, no, I'm gonna start on Sunday and I'm gonna start on the first. You can start at 5:30 in the afternoon if you want. You know what I'm saying? You could start at that time for when you don't have everything doesn't have to be a set way. You can really change things in your life and make your own rules. So, and it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool. It gets tough because especially when you don't have you're pulling stuff together and you like things are moving. And one of the things, like I know, like when I be in prayer and speak on God, he's like, you need to learn patience. He's like, things are going, you already asked for it. You see what's going on, but because you don't know it or it's not right there or whatever, you kind of get whatever. But and that's where like a lot of anxiety come from. But when you really just say, it's happening, I see it happening, it's coming, and I'm seeing it every day. It's just still, I'm just like, okay, let's get it going. I'm ready. So, but it's still work that needs to be done. So, of course, a lot of people are feeling exhausted, and there's a difference between being sleepy and needing rest. And a lot of times you can rest, like just like I said, just you know sitting in a quiet room and just you know relaxing. You know what I mean? A lot of times I don't know, sometimes you could play a game on your phone, you can read a book, you can I don't know, some just just sit. And sometimes that's good because like your brain is constantly like ah, 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 ah. I know mine is. And I have to calm it down a little bit. So, um take baths, take walks. And a lot of times people say that, but a lot of times people don't even have that energy to do all of that. So sometimes just, I don't know, just sit here in a quiet space for a couple of minutes and, just breathe and stuff. And you can be able like to calm even like your nervous system down, because like that's why there's a lot of different elements and illnesses in the body, because it's always on 100. You know what I mean? So in my body, I don't play, because my body is the type that does not play about that. Like if I stress my body out, my body will give out. My body gave out on me years ago. Like she does not play. Like if I get too stressed, it's like I have to keep things at a balance. I can't have nothing stress me out. Sometimes people are like, oh, you kind of like either get rid of people, stop talking, or stop doing this, or quit this, or do this, and it doesn't make sense to people. But I know me, because I'll be the one that's feeling the triggers and the illnesses and the panic attacks, and it's like, what is going on? And you go to the doctor, they the biggest drug dealers. So what I'm saying, as soon as you go there, say, my eyes been twitching for 3 days, and it's like, oh well, I'm like, no, let me just calm my nervous system down. Let me calm myself down, and I think I'll be all right. And it works. I don't know if it'll work for everybody, but that's what works for me. So, but yeah, so just wanted to leave a quick video, say hi, to everybody. And a lot of times when I post videos, it's not the day that I posted. Like sometimes a lot of videos that I post or whatever is stuff that I recorded months ago or years ago. So a lot of things are probably not as current, but I mean they in order as much as possible. And sometimes I have to sit and I have to watch them to see if it's something I want to put out, if it's a, you know, try to be a little politically correct. Because I know some of my old videos, please, I was, man. Because sometimes I like to bug out. You know, I probably curse a little bit too much here and there, but I try to be a little bit more respectful because my son is older now, so I can't be talking about all the, nasty stuff like that, whatever. But yeah, I like to bug out from time to time. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I think a lot of times some of us be trying to be too perfect and too whatever. Like if you want to go out and, turn up for the night, turn up for the night, but get back to yourself the next day. Like just start having discipline and doing stuff in like balance and moderation. Like I don't do too much of nothing. You know what I mean? If I know that I slept all day today, I know tomorrow I need to get up and do something. You know what I mean? So, but I don't beat myself up about it because, again, you need to give your body rest. And some of us feel like I got to keep going. I got to keep going because I don't want to. No, give your body rest. Well, I have no choice. My body had a talk with me years ago, like this is what's going on. If you don't give me rest, I'm going to give it to you. So, yeah, I don't like passing out and all this other stuff because it's just be too much and it's traumatizing. Like I'm like traumatized by like things happen because I don't get like normal like little headaches. It's always something where I like either have to be hospitalized or I gotta recover from. So I'm like, I don't like it. So I listen to myself now and I pay attention, which is very important. Just paying attention, having some patience, and relaxing. But that's it. All right, over and out.